Might say, I thought we started pretty well, actually. I thought, that first tackle by Lukanyam set the tone for the first half. He stepped in, made the big hit. That stopped the British and Irish Lions going round us for the whole of the first half. They came back physically, tried to go through the middle, and as a result, we dominated the first half. And I thought in every single facet, could have been a bit more. One or two decisions I didn't think went our way, guys, but 10, 15 minutes into the first half, Schalk, it didn't look like we could lose this test.
No, we're good front runners too, and we were playing rugby on our terms. Obviously, after halftime, things changed around. We had negative outcome upon negative outcome, and it started with our inability to handle their kicking game.
Yeah.
We lost, I think, 5 or 6 in a row, and that's really the only thing that got them in the game straight after halftime. We shuffled around. It was either Villiers or Quagga, both of them. We swapped them around. Still, we couldn't solve the problem. Obviously, on top of that gave them a lot more energy. The Lions came out with more energy, and they really scrummed well. Forwards had a bigger work rate, I thought, for the Lions, and then they got the line-out maul going. And that's the tricky thing. That's what was worrying me about the Boks the whole time. Wasn't actually, can we play 80 minutes of rugby? Is how do you problem solve on the go? We haven't done it for 20 months. And today was an exact example of how your better teams, when they win a tight test match, and today was a proper test match. It's like an opener going, test match cricket opener going on a green top. How do I make 50 runs?
Yeah.
The wagon wheel, nothing is in front of square, everything's behind square, but you problem solve on the go.
Yeah.
You survive. And today, unfortunately, we had that inability to change that momentum shift. So we got probably 8 negative outcomes on the go straight after halftime, and that set the tone for our whole second half. It wasn't through a lack of trying. We just couldn't get out of that rut we were stuck in.
Sean, as a former Springbok captain, what do you say to the guys at a time like that? How do you try to get them out of that rut and ensure that it's not just compounded error after compounded error?
Yeah, look, I think the game was at a tipping point, just before halftime, where it was almost a situation where if the Boks scored again, it could have been very different. But then the second half started, and immediately from the kickoff, that miscommunication between Quagga and Villiers. Yes. And from there they scored the try, and from there onwards, the Boks never really came back into the game again. So I think from a leadership point of view, again, Alan Wynne-Jones came to the fore, and we saw the value of someone like him being on the field. Whereas from the Boks point of view, it just didn't seem as if they had plans. And also, this thing has been created now where Russie's on the field most of the time, and he's actually giving all the advice. So do the players have the ability to problem solve? Can they really fix a situation? Because tonight they just didn't have any answers. Yes, a bit of luck and couldn't convert some of those tries and iffy decisions. But it really is a question mark that I have in terms of the leadership of this group, and if they can take responsibility for that.
It's definitely not all doom and gloom. We had 2 disallowed tries. The one was a clear knock-on by Chesson. The other one we weren't in a real position to see, but looked very touch and go. And reminder of the fact that the on-field decision was try given, which you've got to have conclusive evidence over and above the on-field decision that it wasn't. And Morris was quite adamant that it was in front of the ball. But that's how small the margins is. And I'm not worried about this Bok performance because we've got another couple of test matches coming on. What it does do, though, is adds immense amount of pressure. You're 0 down, this next one's a decider pretty much. And that pressure is hard to handle.
I think there would be people out there, Jean, who would have thought, having been locked up and having not played for 18 months, as long as we perform pretty well tonight, we might lose it, but we're going to come back. Are there good signs? Can we build for next week? Can we lead it into it and come away with 2 more wins?
Without a doubt we can. I think if you just take the performance, the defensive performance, again, they were outstanding. It wasn't a lack of effort. Yeah. They put their bodies on the line. The physicality was there. The set phases went well, except for 1 or 2, scrums that went against us. But I think it's still the question mark around the attack. And are we able to really apply pressure on the opposition and force them into making mistakes so that we can score tries? We didn't have opportunities. Not once could we kick for the corner and maul and apply pressure there. So, it's being able to get that right. And then those marginal decisions. So we went over the try line 3-4 times and all disallowed. So, in another game that goes your way. So it's definitely not doom and gloom. But, those are sitting in there. They're not happy with a good performance and that they were physically up for it. They want the win, and they'll be coming out firing next week.
Yeah, I think, Motsi, we all wanted the win, but that's how the game goes. About managing those tiny little moments in the game that are defining moments. We didn't do it well enough tonight. The boys will certainly want to do it next week.